Okay, let's go to Bianco Research President Jim Bianco. Jim, welcome. You're predicting that inflation will rise again this summer. To what point do you see this happening? And I guess for how long? And what does that do for the Fed?
Yeah, so I think inflation is bottoming right now. And we're seeing maybe the lows of the year right now. Now, the reason I think that is economists have a phrase called the base effect. And what that means is if you look back to June of 2022, we were having monstrous inflation numbers then, 1.2% for the month. That is one of the largest monthly increases we've ever seen. Of course, price of crude oil was $120 a year ago. And now we're going to drop that from the equation, and we'll probably add something like 0.4, 0.3 to the number. In other words, the year-over-year number will fall to 3%. But then if you look at July, you drop from July of last year, 0. Then you drop a 0.2 and a 0.1. And the point is, the numbers will start to drift higher. Now, this is the CPI number, and I know people say, well, that's not the cost of living, and they're correct on that, but this is the way the Fed measures it. And how's the Fed going to view this? If we go down to 3% and we start drifting towards 4, 4.5 by the end of the year, they're going to find that unacceptable. And they're going to raise rates 2 more times, if not more. Now, there could be exogenous effects that come in. You know, maybe the price of crude oil goes to $40, or maybe there's an oil embargo that shoots it up to 120 again, and that could impact it. But without that, you're probably seeing the low of inflation for the year right now.
And do you see a recession coming, or are we in one? I mean, how do you gauge that?
Well, I think the problem with the economy for the first half of the year has been there is no problem with the economy. You know, we continue to produce 300,000 jobs, or at least we have, and we've continued to see growth moving forward. And the problem with that gets back to the inflation problem. Because remember, the Fed has, and I think correctly, pointed that everything's about inflation right now. And if we haven't had a recession, that's what's keeping the inflation numbers strong. And if we don't have a recession, it's going to stay strong. And that puts the Fed into that difficult position that you want to get rid of inflation. And I think they need to really focus on it. They might need a recession to do that. And so far, they haven't gotten it. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be unfolding right now, or that we will have it towards the end of the year. But so far, the strength in the economy has actually worked towards keeping the Fed more aggressive in hiking rates, not less aggressive.
Jim, I've got less than a minute, and I'm sorry for that, but you say it could take AI stocks over a decade to live up to their hype and price, and you cite Amazon's history as a lesson, right?
Yeah, 99, Amazon, Jeff Bezos was man of the year when it was politically incorrect, and we called him man of the year. And what happened in the next 18 months was Amazon stock fell 90%. And it took 11 years to make the new high. And the reason he was man of the year was the hope that online retailing was going to change the face of selling stuff. Well, that did happen. But if you bought the stock, it took you 12 years to make money. And what happens with these stocks is they discount the future. So AI could very well be the hype that we think, but you could very well be buying these AI stocks and in several years from now wind up not making any money because the money's already been made. And the hope for what AI is going to be has already occurred.
Jim Bianco, great stuff. Lots of information on this Friday. Thanks so much. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, talking of tech, Bank of America.